Good morning. Today I am going to talk about the interesting topic in the plant-insect interaction and how we can harness this to generate edible pesticides. So when we talk about a plant-insect interaction, it is one of the oldest interactions in two organism. It has been initiated before 3,500 million years ago. So how we can use this plant insect interaction in our today's agriculture and to develop the sustainable agriculture practices. So there are some facts regarding the today's agriculture, whatever we are doing in the India. So country like India, which is mostly based on the agriculture for its economic development, and it has been found out that most of the populations, around more than 50% of the population, is depend on the agriculture for the its economic survival. But there are many factors, abiotic and biotic factors, which affects the agriculture productivity. One of the biotic factor is like insect attack on the plant, and it has been reported that throughout a year there is almost $4 to $5 billion due to the insect attack. According to the Ministry of Agriculture, India, the crop loss in the country due to the various pest attack is ranging from 10 to 30% depending on the severity of the pest attack. There are many insects which attack on the plant, but Lepidopteran class of insect is of major concern. Why it is so? Because this the insect like Helicoverpa parmigera or Plutulus hylostella, which belongs to Lepidopteran class, they have excellent migratory ability. They are highly polyphagous. They are highly fecund that they can lay thousands of eggs in a single go, and due to which this special attribute, these insects are of very high economic importance, and there are different strategies has been developed to control such kind of insect and to get a good productivity, agriculture productivity. There are pest management strategy like application of synthetic pesticides or transgenic crops like bt toxin or bt crop. But there are also the conventional methods that people are using by either mechanical way or other conventional approaches. But there are serious limitations which are involved in this pest management strategies. Like this pest management strategies put a high selection pressure on the insects, and which leads to the emergence of resistance in the insect. The second is this all groups or all the chemicals which we are using in the pesticide as pesticides, they are highly reactive and they interact with the different component of the environment and human health, and that is the toxic nature to the hazards to the human. So there is always a need of pesticides or insect controlling molecule which are eco-friendly and they are less hazardous to the human. So when we look to the nature, so we get some clues from the nature that when the or any plant there is any biotic or abiotic stresses there, it leads to higher production of secondary metabolites. This secondary metabolite, it has been known that this secondary metabolite play a role in direct and indirect defense against insect pests, but there is no evidence suggesting that how these plant secondary metabolites are acting on the insects. There are some past report which are suggesting that these secondary metabolites are insecticidal, but it would be great and providing a good insight that if we know that how what is the direct mode of action of this plant secondary metabolite on insect physiology. So we started with the molecules, different secondary metabolite molecule, and one of the special attribute associated with the secondary metabolite that most of the secondary metabolite are antioxidant, anti-cancerous, and possesses the several medicinal property which makes this molecule perfect for proposing as a edible pesticides or dietary pesticides. We initiated with the or parental class of the secondary metabolite, which is a hydroxycinnamic acid, and it serves as a precursor for a different flavonoid and alkaloid pathway. When we have screened a different hydroxycinnamic acid with against the insect digestive physiology. Now why we are focusing on the insect digestive physiology? Because we don't want to put a high selection pressure on insect growth, due to which it will not result in the emergence of resistance. So we screen this hydroxycinnamic acid against boantrypsin, chymotrypsin, and also the insect proteases like Helicobacter parmigianitrypsin and chymotrypsin, and we found out there are four molecules like caffeic acid and ferulic acid, coumaric acid and p-coumaric acid. They are working as a good potent inhibitor against this proteases. But when we look in the structural activity relationship of one compound, that is a caffeic acid, and which is found to be one of the potent one, we found out that the nature is more intelligent than us, and the parental compound is the strongest compound as compared to the other structural derivatives. So we pursue with this caffeic acid and we look for the biochemistry of this caffeic acid, and we looked for that how it is interacting with the different protein, and we found out that it is making a multiple interaction with a single protein. So multiple ligands bind to a single protein, which leads to the structural conformation, change in structural conformation. Now, it is very important to look what is the effect of this molecule in vivo. So we did the in vivo study by insect feeding assay, and we found out that the feeding of caffeic acid to the Helicobacter parmigiana leads to the significant reduction in the mass, and also it leads to the increased mortality and delayed development, which are a significant negative impact on insect physiology. When we look for the ex vivo activity, we found out that the ex vivo protease activity is significantly reduced in case of caffeic acid molecule, and also it affects on the nutritional indices of the insect. It is very important when we are proposing any molecule as a pesticide that molecule should not get metabolized in the insect, that it should remain stable inside the insect gut. And we found out that this caffeic acid molecule is remain comparatively stable in the insect gut as compared to the other pesticide molecule which get degraded or metabolized in the insect gut. When we look into the molecular interaction, that how this caffeic acid is inhibiting the insect proteases, we perform a different structural studies, and we found out that a multiple ligand bind in the active site of proteases and thus inhibit, blocks the substrate accessibility to the active site and leads to the inhibition of the proteases. So I want to conclude that the molecule like which have a significant negative impact on the development and growth of insect can serve as a new arena of a metabolic inhibitor, and this caffeic acid can act as an effective inhibitor against H. armigera growth and development. And we are not proposing that this molecule can itself serve as a pesticide molecule, but using of the such natural molecule can be in amalgamation with the existing molecule can serve as a very good measures for the controlling the insect, and which can be used for having a sustainable agriculture.